Ivy Jones. I'm here with Aska. I work out of the Phoenix office. I'm here to talk with you guys today about some local and national resources that we can use for LGBTQ young people in light of Pride Month. So I'm going to go through some really useful resources that we can use for ourselves and others we know. The first few are local to more of the Phoenix area. The first one is 1 in 10 Youth Center. They have some really, really great programs, support groups. They can do virtual groups as well. They are just so good at helping young people be more confident in their identity, explore in a safe space, be around like-minded young people. So I really can't say enough about how much we like them. The other resource we have is New Pathways for Youth. They are primarily a mentor program. So if you are a young adult that would like a mentor, or you know a young adult that would like a mentor, they can provide safe, supportive adults that are in a space to commit to just supporting and walking alongside a young adult, regardless of their sexual identity, gender identity. There are mentors that can more specialize in that. If a young adult would like to work with an ally or an LGBTQ mentor, New Pathways for Youth is a great resource for that. The other resource is the Phoenix Children's Gender Support Services. If you know of any young people that might be working through their journey being transgender, we can resource them to that. And they have medical professionals, mental health professionals that you can get connected with there. Some other resources can be found online. We have a lot of really good organizations in mind, such as PFLAG. It was established by a group of parents of LGBTQ young people. They have some great stuff online. Also GLAAD, the Gay Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. That website has some great stuff on there. The Human Rights Campaign has some great resources, as well as Planned Parenthood. And the Trevor Project also has some really good resources specifically to adolescents and young people. So those are some really, really great places to start if you are ever curious to dive in deeper. We will list the websites of those in our video. So next we're going to talk a little bit about education, educating both ourselves as service providers and just anyone else that either identifies as an ally or identifies within the LGBTQ population. Education is super important. We need to just brush up on our terminology, especially in light of Pride Month. We want to make sure that we're using the correct terms and that we understand what we're saying and what we're talking about in conversations. And just that it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to clarify if you don't know what something means. Let's have some honest and loving conversations about it. So the first word we're going to talk about today is ally. We all can have different definitions of what an ally means, but really what it is someone that stands up and advocates for any group that is discriminated against within the scope of Pride Month this month. We're specifically talking about LGBTQ people. So allies, they might not personally identify as LGBTQ, but they are there for them. We affirm them, and we will advocate for their rights and for their freedom of expression. So next we're going to talk about some terminology involving gender and gender expression. The next word is gender identity. It is the view, perception, and expression of someone's perceived gender. So that's kind of what we talk about when we mean gender identity. The next word is gender binary. It can be viewed as more of a social construct that everything fits into two different genders rather than kind of a spectrum of different gender identity. So there's also two other words regarding gender that we're going to go over. So the first one is cisgender. Cisgender means that you are identifying with the gender that you were assigned at birth. So if you were born female and you still identify as a female, you are a cisgender female, and same goes for a male. Transgender, on the other hand, is you are identifying as a different gender than the gender you were at birth. So you could be born a female and you are now identifying as a male. You could be born a male and now be identifying as gender non-binary, for example. Some other terms we can start to brush up on are gay, lesbian, queer, and bisexual. So when it comes to more umbrella terms that we use to describe LGBTQ folks, a lot of the times people will just use the word gay or queer just to kind of be an umbrella term. So that is commonly used, but as we know, gay could also refer to men that are attracted to other men. Lesbian goes for women who are attracted to other women, and bisexual is someone that is attracted to members of more than one gender. They don't seem to have a preference over one gender to the other. That's kind of what bisexual means, if you need a little refresher on that. The next word we're going to talk about is intersex, which is referring to a person that is born with reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to fit the typical definitions or boxes that we define males or females in. So that's intersex. Our next vocab word is pansexual. Pansexual refers to someone who is attracted to a person of all different kinds of gender identities throughout the whole spectrum, as well as someone that feels they don't even have a gender. So pansexual can kind of range across a lot of different definitions. It's just somebody that is attracted to someone regardless of whatever gender identity they see themselves as. Our next word is asexual, which is referring to someone who it could be attracted to somebody, but they're not attracted in a sexual way. It might just be an emotional connection, a spiritual connection, mental connection, something like that, but it's just taking the sexual connection out of it. All right, and our final word today is questioning. This can apply to anybody who is just exploring. They're not exactly yet completely sure of what their gender or sexual orientation might be. They are just figuring it out, so that would be a questioning person. All right, so in conclusion, we want to just celebrate Pride not only in June, but throughout the whole year. We celebrate diversity in all kinds of forms. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know there are so many more resources and there's so many more terminology words that I did not get to. You can comment below any other words or resources that have meaning to you that we did not talk about today. And then all of the resources we did list, you can find links to them in our video description. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Pride Month.